Hey everyone, just wanted to film a super quick intro before we switch to the overhead camera and get into the declutters. This is going to be a three-part series, lips, eyes, and face products. And I've been slowly pulling from my collection for this declutter for about a year and a half. I wanted to point out that every declutter is going to have like two separate categories. One is going to be a pile of products that are either unopened or have only been used a couple times that I can give to friends and family. I'm very grateful that I have a big network of influencer friends and we have this like huge friend mail circle where we'll buy products. If we don't like it, we'll give it to someone else so they can review it for their channels without having to buy it themselves. So we have like a really nice symbiotic relationship where we're constantly gifting each other products that we don't need. But the other pile is going to be stuff that I just have to throw out because it's either been super used and my color and texture preferences have changed, or it's makeup that's just too old and expired. And that's the pile that's really making me reassess things. I was thinking that after these declutters, I could just dive deep into what this declutter has taught me about how my makeup style has evolved and how it's shown me the ways I want to change as a consumer. I only want the best of the best in my collection, the stuff that I'm going to reach for on a daily basis, and I don't want anything else. So I'm excited about this little shift, and if you're interested, we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty on all of what I've learned after this declutter at the end of the series. Just let me know if you want to see that. All right, first up, we have all of my lip products that are in good enough condition to be passed to a friend. In fact, some of these have already been claimed by influencer friends. I have a nice little group of people and we exchange products we don't like so that, our friends can review them without having to buy them themselves. So it's a nice little symbiotic relationship. I've laid these out in no particular order, so let's just get started with a product I know a lot of people really, really love, and so do I. This is the Vesca Creamy Lip Oil. This is in the shade Hibiscus. It's a gorgeous bright orange, and this one is in the shade Lotus. I've only used these products maybe 3 times. It's a beautiful formula, so cushiony and gel-like and smooth and never sticky. My issue with it is, first of all, it's so similar to the Fit Glow Lip Serum, but to me, it's just not quite as good. I do find the Fit Glow Lip Serums to be ever so slightly more nourishing and have a little bit more staying power. These are a little bit more slippery. I also have dupes for these shades in the Fit Glow Lip Serum formula, so if I'm comparing a product to Fit Glow, I'm always just gonna reach for the Fit Glow. I've also found with these, it has a weird floral scent. Let me smell it again. Yeah, it smells like fruity at first, which I love, but then there's some type of like floral, perfumey aftertaste. I've never had anyone else mention this scent or taste before, but it really is noticeable to me when I'm wearing them. It just like, I can like taste perfume. And so for that reason, I just wasn't reaching for them. And instead of continuing to try to make it work, I'd rather pass these to a friend. So I have a friend who has already claimed these. Another product that's brand new, only been used about 3 times, is the Kinship Super Melt Vegan Lip Jelly Mask. I have nothing against this. It's just not a mask. I love the kind of like squishy silicone-y applicator, and it's a really nice texture. It's just kind of like a smooth serum, but it's called a lip mask, which is what I like, meaning that something's occlusive. A mask you associate with something that sticks around a little bit, something like the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, the Bite Agave Lip Mask. Those are all products to me that are really like a mask. But this to me is really so much more of a serum. It's very, very, very thin. The way I was using it was underneath lip balms as a serum, and that's just a little bit too extra for me. I think it's a nice product. It feels nice, but ultimately it just feels like a hydrating serum where you need to apply a balm on top of it, and that's just like not good enough for me. So I'm gonna pass this to a friend who is interested in it. Next up, Laura Mercier sent me this lip liner, and it's just nothing special. It's in the shade Rosewood. It just feels like a very outdated formula. It just feels like a bit stiff and drying. The shade Rosewood's also just a little too like light pink for me, so I'm just never gonna reach for it, but I am grateful that they sent it to me. They also sent me this lipstick. It's their like cream lipstick in New Prefer. This formula is bonkers good. The most creamy, smooth, lightweight, beautiful lipstick formula. I would love to swatch some of their other colors in stores because this formula is so bomb. But this shade New Prefer is just a little bit too light, a little bit too peachy. So I'm gonna see if one of my friends wants this. I also had a similar issue with the Fit Glow lipstick in Buck. Beautiful formula. It has that like Fit Glow cushiony quality that's super nourishing that all of their products have. It was just like a really light peach, and I don't really reach for peachy shades. Fantastic formula though. This Bare Minerals gloss, they sent this to me in PR. This shade is incredible. It's the shade Ingenuity. It's just a beautiful, very sheer, sort of shimmery, light beigey color. Such a nice color. Oh, I just adore that shade. It has a pleasant fruity smell. Not my favorite in the world, but it's pretty nice. And this is their Mineralist Gloss Balm, which is a new launch from Bare Minerals. Now, my issue with it is it just doesn't feel like a balm to me. It just feels like a lip gloss. It's not sticky, but it just feels like a lip gloss. And for me at this point in my life, with like all of my Fit Glow lip serums, in my In Beauty lip glazes, my Rowan liquid lip balms, I just don't reach for anything that's not like a liquid lip balm. So while this is a beautiful shade, I'm just not going to reach for it. Exactly the same issue with these Maybelline lifter glosses, and I know that I've raved about these in the past, so I apologize if I have led you astray. But my favorite colors are Sand and Heat, which were CVS exclusives. Sand is my ideal nude shade. It's just the most perfect gloss color that I've ever seen. I actually might even keep these two because I love these colors so much. I haven't been able to find true dupes for these colors. I just really haven't been reaching for this formula. Oh, do you see how it's like a burnt caramel with that shimmer in it? It's a little darker than the Fenty Gloss Bomb, which I appreciate, so it gives my lips a little bit more color. It's a little bit more brown than the Fit Glow Lip Serum and Beach Glow. Beach Glow's more of an orangey copper, so I really haven't found like a liquid lip balm formula in this color. My God, if Fit Glow ever partners with me on creating my own shade, this is probably what I would create because this would look good on everyone in the world. And I think it's just a better version of the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Really what it comes down to is I can feel the glitters in this, which is exactly why I didn't like the Fenty Gloss Bombs. If I could get this in like the Fit Glow formula, because I can't feel the glitter on my lips in their formula, I would love this. It's just, you know, it's a really lovely, non-sticky lip gloss, especially probably the best lip product from the drugstore. But again, I'm just not reaching for it because it's not a liquid lip balm. The Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Heat is also probably like my favorite color of all time. This shade is just everything I've ever wanted in a lip color. Again, a CVS exclusive, and another reason I don't love it, I can smell the scent from here. It is such a strong pina colada scent. It's like super pineapple coconutty, and I can smell it from like a foot away from my hand. But this shade, oh, this shade is incredible. It's just like a creamy pinky red that is right in the middle. It's not too light, it's not too dark. It's just sheer enough, and it's just pigmented enough. So you know what? I feel like at some point in my life, I will have the opportunity to design my own shades of something. I feel like I might keep these because they were so cheap, but they were hard to find. They were CVS exclusive. So I think I'm gonna hang on to these. And if I ever were to create my own shades of a lip product, I think I would create these two. Also, I apologize that my hands are so terrible to look at. I've got a hairy mole. I have a burn scar from my oven. I have like wart scars all over my hands. That's why I don't tend to film declutters and like overhead videos. I don't have those beautiful Hannah Louise post-in hands. I just don't. So it is what it is, but I'm pretty embarrassed about it. Next up, these products, man. I have only pretty much reviewed these for Instagram and YouTube and never touched them again. The ColourPop Just a Tints, not so much. They are not just a tint. These are incredibly pigmented. This is the sheerest of the bunch. This is in the shade City of Stars. It is a beautiful color. It's just like a nice kind of terracotta with a hint of rose. But my issue is these are very thin and melty. I think you can see the tip is like already shaping at the top. So melty, but so pigmented that you just have like no control. They slide around. They're very comfortable, very smooth, but also there's like an incredibly intense sugary sweet smell. Not my favorite, not my least favorite though. Anything like floral scented in a lip product is an immediate no. But you know, ultimately, this is just too pigmented for what I wanted. Same with these two. This is in the shade Cutie Fruity. Again, one swipe is like insanely pigmented, and I just don't want that. And then the shade Agogo is the most pigmented out of all of them. It's not a tint product. I was expecting these to be like a better version of the Clinique, like chubby lip things. But yeah, these are just crazy pigmented, and because they're so thin and slippery, it's just a disaster. The final two soldiers, these two I'm gonna try to pass to a friend. I wore these once and never touched them again. They're the Romand Juicy Lasting Tint. This formula is bomb. I can't read the label, so I'll leave in the description box below. These Romand Juicy Lasting Tints are like so cool. It's a lip stain, but they're glossy and comfortable. You know, I love my Victoria Beckham lip tint in Cherie, but it definitely is like a gel tint that dries down and it feels a little drying. These are just beautiful and glossy. There's definitely a little bit of like a chemical fruity scent, so not my favorite, but that doesn't really matter to me. The issue that I have with these is on the Yes Style website, they made the colors look so much more subdued. Like this was supposed to be a nude and it is like an intense coral. I just don't reach for bold lips. And it's the same with this one. This one is even more intense. And they have incredible staying powder. They're beautiful. I'm sure all of you guys would love them. They're like really cheap. You can get them on Yes Style. They have a bajillion colors. I love that it's a stain that's glossy. I want more of these because I love that they stain the lips. They're comfortable and they're glossy, but I just can't trust the Yes Style swatches, so I'm a little nervous to buy more shades because these were just far too bright for me. So if you have the Romand Juicy Lasting tints or any other like glossy balmy tints on Yes Style, let me know what shades are kind of more like beigey or nudie. We are now moving into several iterations of products that I will not be able to pass on to people because they're either too old or too used. This is a tough one to get rid of because I am so in love with this formula. It's the Clinique Lip Pop. This is in the shade Nude Pop, and the only reason I decluttered this is because I have a shade that I much prefer in this line. So Nude Pop is just like a little bit too peachy for me. I hope you can see that this formula is just so creamy and it's shiny without being like glossy, and it's not crazy pigmented, but it's not too sheer. It's just my perfect Goldilocks formula. I think this is incredible from Clinique. I just don't like how peachy this nude shade is. Instead, the nude lipstick that's my go-to anytime I'm wearing like a smokier, sexier eye is the Clinique Lip Pop in Beige Pop. That one is much less peachy. It's like a lighter, more beigey, fleshy nude that really just cancels out my lips without looking like concealery. The Beige Pop color is like my boyfriend's favorite lip on me. He loves nude lips, but this one is just, it's actually like so peachy. It's a little bit more of like a statement nude, and I just don't think that peachy colors are very flattering on me. Let's do this Ilia lipstick. This is in the shade Rococo. Now, I thought this color was beautiful, But you see how stiff that was? It's just like, it's nothing special. The color is beautiful. It's just like this perfect kind of rosy, perfect, just bitten, stained lips kind of color. I don't know what that is. But this is kind of how I would have wanted it to look, just like a little bit more subtle. And it's beautiful when you blot it on, but I really have to work to get that kind of effect on my lips. This formula is so stiff, you can't just like drag it across your lips as like a little bit of a blotted effect. You see how it just leaves like a streak of color. My other lipsticks don't do that, that are more creamy. This is just so stiff. I really didn't like it. Same issue with my Kosas lipsticks, actually. I fell in love with Kosas back when they just had this kind of packaging, this kind of sleek, sophisticated, grown-up makeup design, and I loved their company back when they had this approach. Now it feels like they're designing their packaging for like TikTok stars, and it's just kind of all over the place. I like the old Kosas. Unfortunately, you know, I've just found that I don't reach for this shade anymore. This is the shade Rosewater, but I've used this for a long time. It's a really beautiful pinky color. You know, a few years ago, pink was just my go-to. All I wore was pink, and my color preferences have just changed. And in addition to that, while this is balmier and creamier than the Ilia lipstick, I still find that it's a little stiff. And Rosewater and Stardust are actually the sort of like sheer balmy formula that Kosas makes. They have colors like Thrillist and Undone that are more of a stiffer kind of like Ilia-like formula. But this still was just too stiff for me. It feels really heavy on my lips. And after like 10 minutes, once that glossiness kind of subsides, my lips are left feeling incredibly dry. So I definitely don't need this in my collection anymore. By the way, I have kept the Kosas lipstick in Stardust in my collection and in Undone, really just because I'm trying to find color dupes for those shades. I did find an incredible dupe for Kosas Stardust, which is the new MAC Sheer Shine Luster Glass lipstick in Business Casual. And once I finally film my dupes video, I will be able to get rid of Stardust. Next up, oh man, these lipsticks. These are the L'Oreal Coloris Shine lipsticks. This is in the shade Luminous Coral, which I think was everybody's favorite. I love this formula. I just unfortunately can never find a color in this range. Luminous Coral, again, it's just too warm for me, too peachy, too coral. It just, super warm shades just don't look good on me, unfortunately. And I'm so sad because I just adore this formula. God, it's beautifully glossy. It makes the lips look so juicy and full. Smells like sweet tarts, which I love. It's a thin formula that's so lightweight, but never migrates outside my lip lines. I've just never been able to find a shade in this range. They came out with their plump line, but unfortunately that had menthol in it. And to me, it smelled like Ricola and cigarettes, and I just hated the scent. But there were shades in that range that I thought were beautiful. But with this, everything is just kind of drugstore colored. And for me, I know everyone always talks about like when you pay for luxury beauty, you pay for the packaging, but I actually think that it's so much more than that. When you pay for luxury beauty, you're also paying for more sophisticated shades. For me, the whole L'Oreal Coloris line just does not have sophisticated shades. I think the closest shade for me would be Varnished Rosewood, but that's still just too dark and a little too like gray, and yeah, it was like a little off for me. But if they made my shades in this lipstick, I would wear it all the time. Next up, we have the Basswood Beauty Tinted Lip Balms. This is in the shade Rosé All Day, and this is in Wild Strawberry. Nothing against these, but the formula is just... Ooh, hold on. I don't know what's happening there. The formula is just so thin and slippery. I think you can see that. It's like melting everywhere, that I just don't find that there's any like nourishment. There's not enough. I've had these for a while. I guess they've expired. Whoa, shoot. I did not mean to do that. It was just like stiff at first, and then I destroyed it. Okay. Madeline, the founder, very kindly sent these to me to try, but I did give her a heads up. Like, I really don't like thin, slippery lip products. And so unfortunately these didn't work for me. I just realized that these are not bite lipsticks, they are multi-sticks, so I will put that in my eyeshadow category. I just did a review of Lit Cosmetics in my full face of makeup fails video. This is exactly a copy of the Bite beauty packaging. I'll show their other products next that I'm getting rid of. I mean, it's a direct ripoff of Bite. This is also a very kind of stiff lip liner formula. This shade is too yellow, so nothing special here. And then I know everyone loves the NYX lip liners, but I've just found better shades and better formulas. For example, all I reach for now is my Citizen Cosmetics, I think it's called Lip Stroke Lip Liner in the shade De. I just don't want any other lip liner than the Citizen Cosmetics formula. You know, the like standard pencil liners, we have Nude Beige and Natural. I just find that these like pencil liners are very stiff, you know? It just feels like an old formula, like an old, like not updated tech kind of formula. I do really enjoy the NYX slide-on lip pencil. This is Nude Suede Shoes. See how it's just more creamy and glidey, but once it sets, it still is really nice. I just find that this nude shade in particular is a little yellow for me. Again, I have cool undertones. I really just need a little hint of pink to brighten up my skin, but great formula. And then this is the retractable lip liner in the shade Nude. Just kind of like crumbles apart. It's a great color. It's just not my favorite formula. And so since I found my perfect lip liner, I just don't really need anything else in my collection other than the ones I already mentioned. Next up, we have some more glosses and balms. Sarah Loves Beauty is a friend on Instagram, and she sent me a bunch of these glosses. I've purchased several times her lip and cheeks, her highlighter, and her kind of like lip slick creamy lipstick formulas. I just didn't like the glosses. The glosses have a really strong cocoa butter scent that I just did not like. Same with the Basswood Beauty Balms. It's just like an intense cocoa butter, not like chocolate, like cocoa butter. And this formula, I know so many people who love these. It's like, let me pick my favorite color. This is like one of my favorite colors of all time. This is the shade Bobby. You can see it's like a mousse, like a whipped mousse gloss. But to be honest, I just don't like any lip products that come in a squeezy tube because it gets so messy. And I just find that this is an incredibly thin and slippery formula. And I know a lot of people who absolutely love these glosses because they're so thin and lightweight. But I need something that's just going to stick around and not slide around and is going to be a little bit more occlusive and provide that like nourishment that I need. Then we have this Wander Beauty Lip Retreat Oil in Skinny Dip. I actually have almost completely used this up, but I think as you can see, it's a very yellow beige. And again, yellow beige just doesn't work on me. Wander Beauty then sent me a full size of this, and I love this formula. I love this doe foot applicator. I might actually see if someone wants this because I think I got this less than a year ago and I've barely used it. This formula is so beautiful. It's not too thin. It's quite nourishing. It doesn't feel like a lip oil to me. It feels like a liquid lip balm, which I love. But you know what? I don't really like unscented lip products. Like, I love my lip products to smell like vanilla or honey, chocolate, baked goods, caramel, whatever it is. Like, the only thing I like scented is my lip products. I don't want fragranced skincare or hair care. I just want like my perfume on me and then a scented lip product. So these are unscented, and it just means that if there's a product that's not perfect in my collection, I'm not gonna reach for it. Oh, Lit Cosmetics, what have you done? If you watched my recent video of full face of makeup fails, you have seen this company make an appearance at the end. Look at the packaging. Same with the lip liner I showed. It's Bite Beauty. Like, they barely changed a thing. I mean, this is their lip mask, honey lip mask, whereas Bite was the agave lip mask. I don't know. That kind of rubs me the wrong way. As a consumer, I guess it doesn't bother me, but it just feels a little shady. I really wanted this to be a dupe for the OG Bite Agave lip mask. Since Bite reformulated it to make it vegan, now it's absolutely terrible. But check this out. So this is the honey lip mask. Why? Why did they do this? Look at that. Why would I want a frosty ass icicle lip mask? It's so glittery. It also doesn't even smell like honey. It smells like honey and flowers, and I don't like anything glittery. I don't like anything. Oh, it's so, oh my God, it's so sticky. I gotta go. This is a disaster. So all in all, the texture of this, the color, the finish, the smell, the copycat branding, it's a terrible product. Same thing goes for the rest of the stuff. This is their, just says lip butter. Look at this. Look at this. Why? Why did they do this? I don't want a lip butter. That's so glittery. And this one has a vaguely, very subtle sweet scent, but the most prominent note in this lip butter is rubber. It smells like rubber. I wanted to like this company so much. They're affordable. They're in like Kohl's and Bed Bath & Beyond. They're a women like owned and operated company, and they're like vegan, I think, but they really missed the mark. Same thing goes for this lip plumper. But again, icicles. There are just huge glitter particles that you can feel in your lips, and then when the gloss wears off, you're just left with like this sticky feeling with glitter everywhere. This is also the kind of lip plumper that burns, and that doesn't really bother me, but it was just kind of like, there are no redeeming qualities. It's a pass. Oops, I see a lipstick snuck in here. This is the Ritual Defee Lip Shear. This is basically the Glossier Generation G matte lipsticks. This just like came right out as soon as I got it, so that was annoying. The Generation G lipsticks from Glossier did the same thing. This is a little bit more comfortable, and this is in the shade White Thorn. I love this color. It's beautiful. The formula is a comfortable sheer matte lipstick formula. You can see it's not very pigmented. It's a beautiful, beautiful formula. The problem is it smells like lavender. I don't want herbs or flowers on my lips. I hate the scent of lavender in anything. Lavender is like my worst nightmare. So love this formula, love this shade, but the scent's gotta go. All right, let's talk about this Franken gloss here. This is actually the Tower 28 Lip Jelly in Chill, which is their clear shade. Last summer I was having fun. I really don't like the Tower 28 lip jelly formula. It really just feels like jelly. It's so thin and slippery. It slides all around my lips. It gets outside the lip lines. I just need to have lip glosses that have a little bit of grip to them. Regardless, I melted down the, maybe it was called True Coral lipstick, and I melted it down and I put it in here, and it's a little chunky, but it's like a perfect coral. It's like a pinky coral. It came out so beautifully. This color is amazing. I hate this formula, so I don't wear it. But honestly, I melted down the lipstick and it worked really well. I just have to like mix it up a little bit every now and then. I've yet to find a gloss in this perfect pinky coral that's not too light, not too dark, and is just sheer enough. So if you know anything that looks like this, let me know. I was definitely trying, I guess I'll just talk about the Lisa Eldridge gloss and go lightly. I was definitely hoping that this would be this a little bit more, but it's actually incredibly light and creamy, and it's very pigmented and bright. Yeah, it's like a neon light coral. And I apply this in my full face of makeup fails video. To me, when you're buying a Lisa Eldridge product, like you want obviously like something weighty, luxurious, expensive. You're paying for the expertise of her incredible wealth of knowledge about color theory. But I was just really hoping more from this formula. To me, this is just a standard lip gloss. It's supposed to be a balm. This is the Gloss Embrace formula. And it's supposed to be a lip gloss lip balm hybrid, but I just don't find that. To me, it feels a little bit sticky. It doesn't feel nourishing. It just feels like a lip gloss. And then you've got this tiny little applicator. I mean, it's so small, but it's still so coated in gloss that it kind of like, the gloss like gathers on the outside here of the applicator. So when I swipe like that, as you can see, it gathers, which pushes all of that product to the edge of my lips. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like this applicator. I don't like the way it collects products. It's so stiff, it's so small. Yeah, this was a huge fail to me. It's just such a bummer. I think I've had this for a year. Maybe I'll put this in my pile of stuff to give to friends and I'll just see if anyone wants it. Next up, we have one of my favorite lip gloss formulas of all time. This is the new Evolution lip gloss in Velvet. The only reason I haven't reached for this is because it's just a little bit dark for me, the shade Velvet. Oh, it is incredible though. I have, I think, 4 shades. The shade Berrylicious is my favorite. It's just like a little bit lighter, but pretty much the same thing. It's just like a pinky red. It's actually quite similar to the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Heat, but it's a little bit darker. And then this is like the darkest end of that spectrum. So this is just a little bit too berry for me to wear on a daily basis. This formula though is incredible. It's basically the Fit Glow lip serums, but without the nourishing benefits, but it feels incredibly similar. It's like very gel-like, that texture that just kind of grips the lips, adds that sort of gel-like cushiony quality. These are a little bit thinner than the Fit Glow lip serums, but they don't offer the skincare benefits that Fit Glow has. So the reason I love the Fit Glow lip serum is because regardless of the way it feels, it leaves my lips in better condition. And for this, I just find that it feels really comfortable, but like doesn't treat my lips. But if you really want to try the Fit Glow lip serum formula, you don't care if it's really like doing anything for the skincare benefit of your lips, maybe try the new Evolution glosses. They also smell like vanilla. They're wonderful, very comfortable, come in a bunch of really nice shades. Next up, we have the super old Lolo lip gloss. This is in the shade Bitten Pink. Oh God, I used to love this formula. It's so funny. Oop, that's a dog hair. It's nothing special. It's really just like, this is what I bought. I bought a ton of these when I was first getting into clean beauty and I was like committed to transitioning into all clean beauty. And I was like, I need to find all clean beauty dupes of my favorite colors. And now I think that for the most part, clean beauty is just really a marketing thing. I don't subscribe to that anymore, although I still do buy from a lot of clean beauty brands just because I like the products. But this was one that I just bought because, like, you know, I was testing out clean beauty. What I love about this is it smells like chocolate, and I don't feel like a lot of lip products smell like that. It's like the most amazing chocolate scent. This lip gloss formula though, just ultimately is a lip gloss. You know, it's very thin, non-sticky, but it's just a lip gloss. And at this point in my life, I don't need to keep products that I don't reach for. And I'm only reaching for liquid lip balms or a gloss like the Lawless Lip Plumper because it's like nourishing and it's doing something different to fill in the lip lines, make them look juicy. Yeah, so I don't need it. Next up, we have the Persona Gloss in Coral. I really like this gloss. The shade Coral, though, is just a little bit too orange. To me, this is not coral. To me, this is an orange gloss, and I don't like shades that are too orange. Like I've said before, I just need a little bit of pink. I need a little bit of pink to just balance it out on my lips. I also feel like this is a hybrid between a gloss and an oil. I hope you can see what's happening where it kind of starts highlighting the hairs on my hand. That's the exact same thing that happens to me with the Tower 28 lip jellies. It's just so thin and so oily on my lips that it just kind of slides around and looks really unflattering. So like the Persona Gloss, the Tower 28 lip jellies, those just feel very slippery, and they just are not very flattering. However, I kept the Persona Gloss in Toffee because I think it is one of the best shades ever created. It's like a cool toned toffee shade and it's really sexy. Actually, I don't even know if Toffee is cool toned. Let me get it. Okay, I just had to swatch it because it's so hard to describe for me for some reason. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's a warm shade. And then other times I'm like, no, there's gray in there. This is just one of the coolest colors I've ever owned. When I wear this lip gloss, my boyfriend compliments me. He thinks it's really beautiful. And I think on camera, it's looking a little bit more warm, like a little bit more yellowy. But there's something different about it. There's something like a little grungy about it too. Keeping this for sure. They also smell like cupcakes, so I'm obsessed with the scent. But yeah, this shade Coral is just orange to me, and I don't like oranges. Okay, last up we have these Au Naturel glosses. So this one is Slip, and this is Passion Fruit. Now, I actually really love this lip gloss formula. Again, this is when I bought the Lily Lolo glosses, and I was trying different clean beauty brands, and I was like, no, I can't wear any conventional products or I'll die. So that's when I tried these, and they're just lip gloss. They're not like a liquid lip balm like I love now. You can see there's a little bit of that oiliness that kind of highlights my hair follicles and like the hairs on my hand. That's the kind of look. When I see that on my hand, I know it's not going to be the most flattering on my lips. That generally to me means there's like a big presence of oil, which I tend not to like. But really my issue with these actually isn't that, because the formula, it's quite thick, which I love. Like it's not a super thin gloss. To me, really though, these shades are just hella frosty. Like the Au Naturel lip glosses, for some reason, almost all of them are frosty finishes, and I just don't love that. Like the frost is there, it's real. The scent of these glosses is also really interesting. I think it's probably a little polarizing. It's like a very intense raspberry scent, and I actually love the smell of raspberries. But it's so funny, it's such a strong raspberry scent that, I don't know, have you guys ever had that thing where like sometimes you love a scent and other times it makes you nauseous? That's what happens with these glosses. That's the same thing that happens to me with the Oleo e Oso lip balms. It's like a very intense grapefruit smell. For some reason, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is the most incredible smell ever. And then other times I'm like, get that away from me, I can't handle it. It's just like fruity scents for me for some reason. So again, nice cushiony gloss formula, but not much beyond that. All right, I actually have one product I forgot I wanted to declutter. This might be shocking to some people. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Luster Lip Gloss in Twilo. Honestly, I feel a little crazy because everyone's obsessed with this formula. All the Pat McGrath lip glosses get so much love. And first of all, I love this applicator. You're going to hear me say love a lot, but I'll get to the point eventually. Again, it's this beautiful coral. It's coming across a little bit more orange on camera. It's actually quite a bright pink in person. It's kind of like that perfect Tom Ford True Coral color that I tried to mix in with a gloss. It's a beautiful gel-like formula. It feels comfortable on the lips. I will say the formula to me is a lip gloss. It's as the name would suggest. So first of all, with the formula, I'm just not reaching for anything that's not a liquid lip balm. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It has to really be treating my lips for me to want to reach for it. That's just where I'm at in life. I'm full comfort all the time now. But despite not being totally obsessed with the formula, this has a really strong plastic smell to me. And what's interesting is no one has ever mentioned that. And I know like 100,000 people who have this formula, and no one's ever said that. So I think I might just be really, really sensitive. I know that I'm sensitive to scents and I'm very picky, but I think sometimes I might pick up on smells that other people don't. Like the Vesca lip oils, I picked up on that little like floral aftertaste. With this, I can just detect, it just smells like a chemical vanilla or like a plasticky vanilla. And because of that scent, that taste, I'm just not reaching for it. So this will be a sad declutter. I've had this for a year. It might be a little too old to pass on to friends, but I'm going to ask some of my influencer friends if they want this, with the disclaimer that I've had it for a year. I've just barely used it. So technically now 53 products decluttered. Those are all of the lip products I'm getting rid of. I think I will have 2 more videos I'll have a declutter all for eyeshadows, and I'll have another declutter for base products like foundations, concealers, and blush. How about now we go show you what my final lip collection looks like. Editing Kate here. If you made it this far, wow, good for you. I filmed the entire lip collection overview and went through like every section of everything I own and why. The audio was trash and I'm not going to post it. So instead, let me know if you want to see a final makeup collection video after the whole declutter series is done, and then you can see, you know, why I've curated my collection in the way that I have and what made the cut. That's all I got. I know this video was super long. The other declutters for the base products and the eyeshadows are gonna be just as long. So buckle up and I'll see you next time.